Good afternoon. On a really warm afternoon here in Washington, D.C. It's 86 degrees and I'm at Meridian Hill Park. It's on 16th Street in Northwest Washington, D.C. And what you're looking at is supposed to be a cascading waterfall. As you can see, there's no water. And I don't know, by the looks of it, there hasn't been water here in quite a while. I haven't been to this park before, so we'll take a little look around. 16th Street is a very busy artery into and out of Washington, D.C. So it's really nice to have a quiet place in this area. And you can see this would have been a big pool of water with fountains if there would be water, but there isn't. And like I said, by the looks of it, I don't think there's been water here for quite a while. But we'll check out the park anyway. It is a nice quiet place in the middle of a busy area. I kind of like the sidewalk. I like the stonework here in the sidewalk. Quite interesting. This is not a flat part of Washington, D.C. When I've talked before about how easy it is to walk and bike through Washington, except for a few hilly parts, this is one of those definite hilly parts in Washington, D.C. So if you're going to do Meridian Hill, be prepared to climb a lot of steps. And it just got kind of cloudy. It was a quite a clear day today. 86 degrees in Washington today, or 87, whatever it is now. Oh, there's a tiny bit of water. Yeah, this is the cascading waterfall. With no water today. Hello, Kaloop. How are you? There's a little bit of water there for some birds to play in. We'll walk up the steps carefully to the top here. Yeah, I don't think there's been water here for a while. I know a little birdie playing in the little bit of water down there. Hi, Zadie. Very nice to meet you. I can imagine back in the day this being a super peaceful, cool, quiet place when there was a fountain here, and there's not anymore. But this is a great place to hang out. I'm going to be a little quiet because I see someone over there reading a book. Great place to be in the middle of Washington, D.C. Hello, Orion. Hello, KD. Hello, you with the sunflowers. We're in Washington, D.C. at Meridian Hill Park. And this is definitely a hilly part of Washington, D.C. Hello, underdogs. Nice to meet you. Yeah, this fountain hasn't had water in quite a long time. But daffodils that are just now finished. Tell me where you're from, everyone. Nice to see you all. Oh, sorry, Christian. I didn't mean to do that. Hang on, let me fix that. No. Christian, I'm sorry. I think I hid your message and I didn't mean to do that. How do I I'm so sorry, Christian. Try again and I'll try to unhide your message. That was completely a slip on my part, so I do apologize. Hi, Jeanette from South Africa. Hi, Orion from Jamaica. So here's the great view from the top of the fountain. It would be even better if there was some water, but it's okay. It's a pretty cool view. I'm so sorry, underdogs. I hope I didn't hide all your messages. Yeah, So if you check out travel guides to Washington, D.C., they may be a bit misleading. They may show this fountain full of water, and there's no water here at all in this fountain. But I'm sure back in the day, it was a nice, cool place to visit, especially on a work day. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. I do live live adventures. I try to do one evening a week and then one day on the weekends. So today is my one evening this week. Kind of interesting. Different parts of the park. I don't have the history on this park, but you can imagine probably in the early 1900s, this being a nice quiet little oasis in the middle of the city. Definitely some ornate ornamentation. Hey, Underdog, I won't do that again. You know, your message was hidden, which is so silly because your name is Christian. I don't know. The last time I checked, Christian wasn't a bad word. So I went to unhide you and I accidentally hid you. Sorry about that. All right. We'll make our way down the steps and then we're going to take a walk up and down busy 16th Street. And we're going to check out some really cool architecture, including a couple of embassies. So in this area is the Embassy of Lithuania and the Embassy of Poland and one of the parts of the Embassy of Mexico. There are several buildings that are part of the Embassy of Mexico. So let's head north on 16th Street. We'll say goodbye to this lovely little park here. I don't know, maybe someday the water will come back. Thank you, Christian. I appreciate it. I'm not a real YouTuber. I'm a historian, and I live and work in and around Washington, D.C., and I love to share the amazing architecture of this area and other areas. I get to travel to, thank you, Orion. I get to travel to Philadelphia quite frequently. And I'm from Baltimore, so I'm in those areas as well. We are walking north on 16th Street in Northwest Washington, D.C. And if we were to go this way, if we were to go south, we would connect up with Massachusetts Avenue at the site of the Australian Embassy, which I've done a whole long form video on the Australian Embassy and its architecture. It's one of my favorites. But all around this northwest area, you'll find a mix of historic architectural styles. Those bikers, they just don't care. Cyclists just don't care. That guy almost got run over by a bus. You'll find a mix of architectural styles, and particularly Gilded Age architecture. During the Depression, many of the families who had built their fortunes and built these grand mansions in this part of Washington, D.C., could no longer afford to keep them up. And they lay abandoned, many of them, for a while. And then the foreign missions moved in. So, and this used to be a fountain, I'm sure. So when the foreign missions moved in, it served to preserve much of the architecture. Some of them no longer exist, but much of the architecture was saved. And as we get to the end of this block, we'll start to see some great examples of that style of architecture. You can see we're crossing 16th Street and Crescent Place right now. This is still Meridian Hill Park next to me. It's walled. It is a hill. It's quite a hike. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Today is like, this is the first day of, okay, it's still spring. Feels like summer today. Today is hot. My kid messaged me and asked me if she could put the pool up. We have a little wading pool. Not yet. Here in the Mid-Atlantic, bye-bye, Orion. Here in the Mid-Atlantic, we can still have frost at this time of year. So no planting of annuals yet. I see a lot of people planting flowers already. It's too early. About 2 more weeks and we'll be safe to plant flowers. But this is an abnormally warm day today in Washington. Definitely feels like summer is coming. Oh, bye Underdog, bye Christian. Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate you dropping by. And Orion, I'm glad you're staying. Thank you. I'm really bad at reading messages while I'm doing this. I'm trying to get better. I'm not a real YouTuber. Like I keep saying, I'm definitely not a real YouTuber. All right, now we're gonna see some really good examples here. Another great feature of Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, is the ample green space that's planned. So we have lots of trees mixed in with all the modern and historic architecture. So let's take a look at this Art Deco beauty across the street. It was built as the Park Tower and it's still named the Park Tower. I don't have a date on it, but you can see the obvious Art Deco influence in the design of the multicolored brick around the windows and the columnar features on the facade. A really nice example. So we'll look that one up and see what year that might have been built. Right next door, I think you'll find, if you check out my other videos, that I do lean toward this style of architecture, more in the formal architecture. I really like federal style for the kind of row homes, townhomes, but this is called Second Empire style. And this is, as the kids say, this is my jam. I absolutely love. This is influenced by the French Second Empire, characteristic of that roof, where you have light colored stone and concrete work on the floors, but the roof is always going to be gray, slate, with ornamentation at top, and sometimes windows, which we see in the attic space there on this building. It's also characteristic to have the ironwork around the windows and balconies around the windows, which you see clearly in this example. Let's go around the front and let's check out the front, which we see a rounded balcony. Oh, I don't know if that's the front. We'll call this the front. Sometimes I don't know what the front is. We'll call this the front. But we'll go to the side, which is the north side of the building. This is fantastic. This is 2460 16th Street Northwest in Washington, D.C. And it has all the features of a Second Empire building that I absolutely adore. The roof line and ornamentation, the ornamentation around the windows, the ironwork, the balcony, it's all there. This one has it all. And I don't know if it's occupied. We will definitely do some investigating on this structure. Let's walk up to the corner and take another look from the north side. If I were a millionaire, well, number one, I wouldn't live on this corner. It's a little bit busy. But I could do with a home like this. This is fine. This would fit me. Yep. I'm totally fine there. Now, speaking of Art Deco or Art Deco influence, this building is the Dorchester House, just north of, well, it's on Kalorama Road. Now, you've seen me hiking around Kalorama to the west of here. Orion, how much longer will I be streaming live for? Probably, I'll probably go another half an hour. I'm gonna go about 4 more blocks north on 16th Street and then work my way back. So the Dorchester House here, again, Art Deco influence, a little bit of a simpler style, but you can see the Art Deco influence in the awning over the, you know, whatever we call that, carriageway, awning over the door, over the doorway. Sometimes architectural terms just elude me. Obviously built as an apartment building. This was not one that was converted. This was obviously built as a multi-unit residence whenever it was built. We'll get to this corner. Now, oftentimes I will dart back and forth across the street. I'm not going to do that this time. This is rush hour in Washington, D.C. And some of the drivers aren't as happy to accommodate pedestrians at rush hour. Now, across the way here, this home, slightly obstructed by trees, has a, I would say a kind of a Moroccan influence. Definitely a terracotta tile roof with the pointed windows. This is another really nice example. Probably not built as a residence originally. But another nice example. Cross while we have the light. Now we're gonna get to see some embassies. If you check out any of my other little videos, my little shorts, I have videoed every embassy in Washington, D.C. with an asterisk, because in the 2 years it took me to do that, some embassies have moved, some renovations have been started or completed. So actually it's a never-ending project. And this is Meridian Hill Hall with an interesting piece of artwork in the front. Lovely. Now, on a very, very sunny day, and today is a little bit overcast right now. On a very, very sunny day, the next few blocks, or the next few buildings with the flags, look pretty amazing. This first building, if the buses will cooperate, this first one, where you see the 3 flags, this is the Embassy of Lithuania. We'll come back down the other side and get a closer look at some of the artwork in front of these embassies, but I think it was better to start on this side where we could see the entirety of the structures. There are always a ton of buses on 16th Street. I don't know what this is. This is not an embassy, but this is lovely. This is quite interesting. It's the Warder Mansion, and there's a sign. So let's walk up and see what we can see about the Warder Mansion. And see where this one comes from. Nope, the sign just tells us the hours. But this was an unexpected find. I lived and worked in this area my entire life, and every time I'm here, I find something completely new. Back to the Embassy of Lithuania, right across the street. Cute building. tall and narrow. And you see the sign this weekend, this Saturday, open house at many of the embassies in and around Washington, D.C. Check it out online, find out which embassies are open, and plan your day to visit the embassies. Unfortunately, I go to this event every year, and this year I do have a family event on this day. So I will miss Embassy Open House this weekend, and I'm kind of bummed about it. This building here is I guess we call it the former Embassy of Cuba. I'll have to check and see if we've resumed diplomatic relations with Cuba. But this is Cuba, here on 16th Street, right next to Lithuania. We'll get a little better view here now that the traffic has given me a little break. Embassy of Cuba. When we come back down the other side, we'll see, we'll get a better look at some of the artwork in front of these buildings. But the architecture here, again, not Second Empire, but definitely a strong European influence in the architecture of this one here. And whoa, okay, cyclists, like I said, they do not care. Don't know what this building is at all, but another interesting style as we walk north on 16th Street in Northwest Washington, D.C. I adore this one. This is the Embassy of Poland. Oh, okay, this is, as I mentioned, so that is the Embassy of Cuba. And this is the consular section of the Embassy of Cuba, as the sign says so. So, looks like there is an Embassy of Cuba. Looking now at the Embassy of Poland, and that beautiful Polish falcon, crest by the door. Need a little bit of a breeze to get those flags moving. And then here directly across the street, another Art Deco apartment building here on 16th Street in Northwest Washington, D.C. We'll get a better look at the Polish embassy here in a sec. And there goes the flag. All right, now we're getting a breeze. Beautiful. Continuing north on 16th Street. Being careful not to get hit by bicycles flying up the street. And this is something of Spain. I'm gonna guess it's an arts and cultural center. The Center for Arts and Culture of Spain. Wonderful. And right next door, part of the Embassy of Mexico. Now, Mexico has several buildings within its foreign mission here in Washington, D.C. And directly across the street, very interesting artwork in front of the Freemasons Temple, I guess we call it. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, District of Columbia. Now, there are several of those buildings here along 16th Street. There are different kinds of Masonic buildings. I'm not sure. It doesn't say exactly what facility this is, but it is attached to the Embassy of Mexico. Beautiful. Artwork everywhere here on 16th Street, as well as these historic markers that you can find really everywhere in Washington, D.C. Every neighborhood has historic markers, maps. Everybody has a phone, but you don't need a phone to find your way around Washington, D.C. The signposts are super helpful. Oops, watch this good thing. Church here, All Souls Unitarian Church. Beautiful. Now, if we were to go this way, which is west on Columbia Avenue, we would be in Adams Morgan. Quite a vital and vibrant neighborhood in Washington, D.C. We're not going to go down there today. We'll do that another time. We will adventure around Adams Morgan. The Washington Family Church, National Cathedral, is here on 16th Street and Columbia Avenue, or Columbia Road. It's Columbia Road, my fault. Not Columbia Avenue, Columbia Road. And there's a better view of the Unitarian Church across the street. Now we'll head south on 16th Street and we'll get a better view of the embassies that we passed by and a better view of the buildings on the side of the road that we just walked north on. We'll get a broader view from this angle. It is rush hour. Early on a Saturday morning, much less traffic when I'm normally streaming. More sign trails. This is the part of the Adams Morgan Heritage Trail, as I mentioned. Just on this side, the side we're on of 16th Street, is Adams Morgan. And you can see where we are, number 5, right there. Adams Morgan is a place to go for restaurants, trendy little places, music venues, all the fun, hip and happening places. Here's a better view of the artwork there over the door of the Freemasons building here. Quite interesting. And then this piece of artwork straight ahead. And across the way, the buildings we passed attached to the Embassy of Mexico and the Embassy of Spain. The Spanish Cultural Center. Now this building we didn't take a good look at. We'll get a better view of this one. I think this is apartments here. This building is Modera. Obviously a historic structure. Might be a nice place to live. Quite beautiful. Actually liking that myself. And these are the flowers that are okay to plant right now. Pansies. Pansies are hardy. So if we do have another frost, they'll be okay. As far as your other annuals, don't do it yet. Don't do it. It's too early. There's the better view of that Century building. I'd call it kind of a plain-ish Art Deco influence Not a heavy-duty Art Deco design for sure. And then we're coming back up on the Embassy of Poland. Try to peek through the gate here to get a good picture of that awning over the door. That's a very nice design. And a great view of the flag. Hello, Melissa. Nice to meet you. Really nice view of the flag here. This is the Polish Embassy in Washington, D.C. We're on 16th Street in Northwest. And we're getting a breeze. So the flags are making their statement, which we like to see. And another historic marker here, they're everywhere. This one about Polish-U.S. diplomatic relations and the history of this building here. I think this is one of the oldest occupied, let me see if I can find it. Yep, okay, so the Embassy of Poland. The longest serving embassy in Washington, D.C. So this one was completed in 1910. So while other buildings are older, this one has been continuously operated as an embassy since that time. Other buildings often change hands. Several have been occupied by different countries over different spans of time. But this one is the longest serving embassy in Washington, D.C. So go Poland. Good job, Poland. And now we'll get a closer look at the design here for the Embassy of Cuba. Very detailed ornamentation above the windows, as well as around the rooftop. It's pretty cool. Now there used to be a piece of artwork here, and I'll have to do my research. There used to be a piece of artwork here that was, I think, stolen, but it was replaced in a different park. It was an urn, and I'll have to refresh myself on the story behind that. Because it used to be here, and then it was stolen, but then it was placed back in a park. Getting a good look at the flag of Cuba here at the Embassy of Cuba. And let's see if we can see who this statue represents. Jose Marti, hero, national hero of Cuba. Okay, Jose. Good on you. And there's the flag. Lovely. And the flag of Lithuania, along with the flag of the European Union here in this building right here. And some artwork. I do like the ornamentation around the ironwork, actually, around the door grate here. And the ironwork around the windows. Lovely, as usual. So I'm gonna find a place to quickly pause the stream and take a photo of these flags. So please bear with me. This stream will pause for just a second. I hope everyone's back. Sorry for that. I just paused to take some photos that I can use as the thumbnail when I upload this video. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate the company when I go on these little walks. Because if I were to leave work now, I would be stuck in this traffic. So instead, I go for my little walks after work, and then I join the traffic after 6:30. It's just a much nicer commute at that point. Today has been a slightly unseasonably warm day here in Washington, D.C. And everybody's out, which is wonderful. And this building says it's the Inter-American Defense Board. Very interesting architecture here. I think we'll go around the corner and check it out from the side. Oh, as well as irises, or iris. It's probably iris. Irises. Beautiful iris behind the gate. And a good view of the ornamented windows. Really nice. And some beautiful flowers. All right. Now off of the main road here, let's see. We're now on Euclid Street. We turned west on Euclid Street from 16th Street. Heading down to some of the more residential area here. Mixed in with office buildings. And then we'll hit some shops down the way. Maybe check out a restaurant. I thought there was a rooftop restaurant around here, but I could be wrong. That was a good video from the rooftop restaurant a few weeks back, where we could overlook the White House and also watch the planes coming in for a landing at National Airport. That was at the Hotel Washington, and the name of the restaurant is the View, V-U-E restaurant. I highly recommend it for the view. For the food, it was okay. Food was okay. Not dissing the food. But you go there for the view. You go to the View for the view, for sure. Walking west on Euclid. And this residence with the very interesting lanterns in front of the building. And a beautiful entryway. See how far we can get down here toward the shops and see if we can find a place to grab a bite to eat. Walking west through the residential area and listening to the school kids screaming their heads off. Walking west from 16th Street along Euclid Street, heading toward Columbia Avenue. I think Columbia Avenue. I think that's where we're headed. Or Road. I keep doing that. It's Columbia Road. It's not Columbia Avenue. So these residential areas offer a tremendous mix in architectural styles. So you can see the obvious new construction on the corner. When I say new, I mean like, post 1950. Mixed in with row houses that date back at least to the early 1900s, but probably some of these homes back to the 1800s. Cute little homes with a front porch as well as the second story porch. Really nice. Hey Abe, how are ya? Well, we just made our way north and south on 16th Street And now we're on Euclid Street, checking out the residential area. We just checked out the very busy 16th Street. How's the weather, Abe? Because it's 86 degrees here. That's hot for those of you who don't know Fahrenheit. It's like, is it like 30 for you guys? What is 86 in Celsius? I don't know. No idea. We're heading our way. Just got finished playing Party Animals with the gang. It is roasting here. Oh, wow. You know, I could never play Party Animals. It made me too frustrated, but I enjoy watching you all play it. It is hilarious to watch you guys play it. I like the one with the train. You know that one? I think that's my favorite one, is the one with the train. The Party Animals train. Yeah, I think it is. I think it definitely is. Some roses blooming already. That's early. That's definitely early. I mean, it's the first week of May. I mean, it's literally the first day of May. So that's early for roses. Not time to plant your annuals yet. We could still get a frost. But these little flowers will do okay. And this is a really cool mix with the different color stucco. Very nice. Look at that window box. Wow, beautiful. Interesting lamppost there. All right, I'm loving this one. I am loving this one. This is on Euclid Street in Northwest Washington, D.C. And I certainly don't mean to pry in a private residence, but kudos to this family, right? Look at nice little patio here. Beautiful here in the middle of the city. Lots of hostas going now. Hostas are okay too. They thrive all year long. They're outdoor plants. They can withstand the freeze, but not your annuals. It's not time to plant annuals yet. I'm very particular about that. Oh, and there's the bank. I did definitely want to get a picture of the, okay. The line, I don't know what this building is. Previously some kind of church or temple, but across the street, we're gonna get a view of a really pretty little bank building that I like. I don't know what this is. It's called The Line. No idea. Okay, so first we're gonna take a look at this building that's called the Imperial. I'm gonna try to cross here and not get hit. And of course I hear music, so I'm gonna have to talk a little bit loudly. But this building here, the Imperial, this is kind of in the middle, right? This is in the middle of Gilded Age, leaning into Art Deco. Kind of looks like a style all of its own. Really nice. But the one I'm here to find is this bank across the street and on the right. So it's the one with the purple awnings you'll see in just a second. Everybody's outside today. I feel like I've been walking downhill for quite a bit. So when I go back to my car, it's gonna be a hike. Definitely gonna be a hike. So it's this little Truist bank here on the corner, but let's get the best view of it. Let's get the best view from across the street in the taqueria. I swear there was a rooftop restaurant around here. I'm not sure. Oh, I see it. I see it. It's over there. Maybe we'll walk our way over to the rooftop restaurant. Okay, this is the little bank I wanted to check out. The Truist Bank. Obviously, has been a bank. I don't think it could have been anything else but a bank. Little teeny tiny bank. And I like it. All right, let's go see if we can check out the rooftop restaurant. If it's still a rooftop restaurant. It's supposed to be a seafood place. We will check it out. Oh no! Oh, I sure will. Thanks for the heads up, Abe. Yeah, we'll come back. Thank you. And I gotta talk over the back. Thank you. And I gotta talk over the music. Gotta talk over the music. And speaking of music, the world famous Adams Morgan music venue called Madam's Organ. Yep. We're in Adams Morgan, and the music venue is Madam's Organ. It is world famous, 100% for your live music every night. 100% for your live music every night. Every night, live music. Party place. Across the street from the Silly Shenanigans Pub. So if you want eclectic, if you're in Washington, D.C., and you're looking for eclectic neighborhood, this is the one. This is, so think of Camden Town in London. This is the D.C. version of Camden Town. Although without the amazing market. Oh, look at that architecture. Well, that's beautiful.
I'm about to get you some nails and put them on myself.
So,
okay.
If you're just looking for a wild scene at night on a Friday or Saturday night, this is the place to be. Georgetown is more calm. Take your family. Don't bring your family to Adams Morgan on a Saturday night. But do come here because it's a place to be on a Saturday night or any night. So all of these street bars, and I don't know, maybe I can't remember if these were in London too, but all of these, I guess, street tables sections here popped up during COVID, and they stayed. So on some major streets in major cities, a couple of lanes were given up so that people could eat outside throughout the year. So this is the Meze Wine and Mojito Bar, looking like it's getting ready to open up for dinner soon. This is lovely. Brunch and bubbles. $49, all you can eat and drink. That's a deal. That's definitely a brunch deal. Retro Bottega. And that's an interesting building, by the way. Remember to always look up. Don't just look at the first floors of these buildings. Look at the entirety of the architecture. Oh, I'm gonna get hit for this music. I'm not talking enough. It's only 5:20 on a Thursday, so not a lot of people out yet. Everybody's still coming home from work or still working. I expect in about 2 hours, this place will be jumping. Thursday nights are busy nights too, in and around Washington, D.C., for sure. Ooh, ice cream and milkshakes. Van Leeuwen. Ice cream and milkshakes. Darn, that's a good looking ice cream sundae. Not today. Not today. Oh, I'm gonna have to talk over this music again. I do love live music, but for the purposes of live streaming, it certainly does make it challenging to try to keep talking over the music so that I don't get a copyright claim. Just about, I'd say every 3 or 4 of my live videos ends up with a copyright claim. 2 of them I've taken down, and one of them I actually did the auto remix that YouTube now offers, and it seems to have worked. So it removed all the sound for one portion of the video. How annoying. All right, and we're almost to the park. And then I will end this stream, and I will thank everyone for joining me down this little jaunt through the Adams-Morgan neighborhood of Washington, D.C. Let's take a look up the street. Oh, it's really hard to see back up the street. Lots of trees, right? Trees are good, but trees do get in the way of some of the shots. Death Punch. Don't even want to know what that is. Billiard room. League of Her Own. Apropos of our upcoming film club. So this weekend it's Whiplash, and then following Whiplash, it's A League of Their Own. This bar, A League of Her Own. And we're back to Calorama Road, where we began our adventure, although several blocks to the west of here. Monday, don't forget to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Mexican restaurants here. This is Mi Casita Mexican restaurant. I'm looking forward to Cinco de Mayo. I hope everyone is. Well, thanks so much, everybody, for joining me on my little walk through Adams-Morgan, up 16th Street, checking out all the embassies and the cool architecture up there. I know Baby Nerd Takes is nearly here. I'm so excited for Jay and Mrs. Nerd Takes. Can't wait to hear. Thinking of them, hoping everything goes really well tomorrow. Thanks for joining Abe. Thanks for joining Orion. Very nice to meet you. And Melissa. And Christian. Very nice to meet you as well. Jeanette. KD. Kalub. Everyone who joined today. Huge thank you. I hope you have a wonderful, I was going to say rest of the week, but let's call it the weekend already. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Abe, behave. Everyone else, take care.